What's going on, guys? This article is by the Motley Fool, and if you're not familiar with the Motley Fool, they're a website that, they try and break down stocks and they put them on a buy or sell list. And, it's primarily for investing and investing advice. And they wrote an article titled, Is Disney Star Wars Universe Imploding? Oh, wow. When even the people who want to invest the money in the company start to get cold feet about investing money in your company because of the way it looks like it's headed, you need to make a change. Okay? It's by Keith Noonan, July 1st, 2018. Alright, so let's get into it. Disney's Star Wars franchise seems to be losing steam, and it could be in danger of getting lost in space. Alright. Walt Disney's Solo, a Star Wars story, is now destined to go down as a flop and the first Star Wars film to lose money at the box office. Following the picture's disappointing performance, reports emerged that Disney had put the development of all Star Wars spin off films temporarily on hold. Subsequent reports suggest a complete halt for all of the franchise's side stories isn't in the cards, but it seems likely that the company is reconsidering the franchise's trajectory following the recent bounce of negative feedback. Star Wars no longer looks like the unstoppable media property it appeared to be less than a year ago, and a change, of course, is needed. Oh, yes, indeed. A disturbance in the force. More than a month after the film's release, Solo's box office sits at roughly 350 million worldwide. That might not sound too bad, but with an estimated 250 million production budget and a big advertising push, the picture is now expected to lose somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 million. Much of that could be recouped through home release distribution and merchandise, and it's even possible that these factors will put the picture in the black over the long term. Now I just wanted to say something before we continue right about that. This 350 million, or oh no, I'm sorry, 250 million. I believe that's before they did the reshoots. So that 250 million is there before Ron Howard. Once Ron Howard came and reshot 85% of the movie, there's a bunch of more money that got added on. And then again, the advertising. So they could have easily spent another 100 million. So these numbers here aren't exactly accurate. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the movie was at 250 before Ron Howard. So let's continue. However, it now seems clear that things are not right in the galaxy far, far away, and that development is close to home for Disney shareholders. Much of the blame is rightly being put on Solo's weak ticket sales, but it looks like The Last Jedi was where things started to come off the rails. Oh, no, it was at The Force Awakens when everyone got tricked. Disney acquired Lucasfilm and the Star Wars franchise in 2012 for roughly $4 billion. That move was quickly cast as brilliant, thanks to the $2 billion in ticket sales scored by the franchise's revival, The Force Awakens, in 2015, and the $1 billion in ticket sales for the 2016 release Rogue One. Mainline series sequel The Last Jedi hit theaters at the end of last year, and despite grossing $1.3 billion at the box office, it now appears that the picture has damaged the Star Wars brand. If it ain't broke, don't subvert it. In the lead up to the reintroduction of the Star Wars series, Force Awakens director J.J. Abrams had the goal of reintroducing mystery to the series. In the typical Abrams fashion, Star Wars introduced enigmatic plot threads and cliffhangers that left series fans speculating. However, director Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi seemingly cast much of that aside, dispensing with major villains, questions of family lineage, and some of the series' biggest themes in wonton fashion. That's a weird wonton fashion. Major media coverage generally lavished the film with praise, and many complimented the film for its subversive qualities. A case of defying expectations can certainly be made, but it's probably fair to say that many Disney shareholders aren't wild about the idea of subversive Star Wars movies. It's clear that many fans aren't. See, once you start putting your politics in a series above the quality of the series, once you're trying to push your agenda on a series and compromising the quality of the series, especially when you spend $4 billion on the series, You should really be careful on who you put in charge of that series. Just saying. Well, The Last Jedi earned the approval of 91% of professional critics, cough cough, professional, on Rotten Tomatoes. Just 46% 46% of fans on the website gave the picture a positive score. The level of audience dissatisfaction likely played a big part in Solo's shockingly low box office take, and it underscores the dilemmas facing the franchise going forward. The Last Jedi's treatment of the Star Wars franchise and its classic characters confounded and alienated a significant portion of series fans. Making matters worse, Disney employees and media outlets have at times seemed eager to attribute dissatisfaction with recent entries in the Star Wars franchise to personal shortcomings among the fan base, a tactic that all but guarantees continued controversy. Fighting the fans. The old adage that the customer is always right is a simplification, but at the very least, it's probably not a good idea to take a hostile stance towards some of your franchise's biggest fans. Cough, cough, Ryan Roundhead Johnson. That's specifically true when series enthusiasts have played such a big role in sustaining the property's cultural cachet over the last 40 years. Even Mark Hamill, the actor who portrays Luke Skywalker, voiced dissatisfaction with his character's progression in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. Shockingly, the actor did so during numerous press appearances promoting the films, behavior that's pretty much unheard of because media events are meant to present projects in the best possible light. It seems like Disney proceeded with the expectation that the core Star Wars audience would show up for its new movies no matter what, and it could instead focus on broadening the appeal of the franchise. On the other hand, an entry like The Last Jedi seemed to take a more overt political position at a time when polarization is running high, and that issue appears to have been exacerbated by interactions between people involved with franchise and social media users. I said that wrong. My reading with certain words is terrible. Please forgive me, and I just don't have time to go and correct them. In response to some of the controversy surrounding The Last Jedi, Abrams said, "If you're someone who feels threatened by women and who needs to lash out against them, you can probably find an enemy in Star Wars. There are surely fans upset about the franchise's new focus on bringing in more female viewers, but there's probably a larger subset of the dissatisfied enthusiasts who simply do not like the new movies, who do not think the movies are very good." Now, I want to correct Mr. Abrams there real quick because there might be a small portion, a very small portion, who have a problem with just women in these movies. But there is no problem with women in these movies. There has been women in Star Wars movies. Uh, More specifically, in the animated series, and when you go into the comic books and, the non canon expanded universe now. But there has always been a strong woman in this. And the problem that the majority of people, besides the people who agree that the movie just is made terribly, their problem is the overt push of women and them making men look stupid. In these movies, the men are the idiots and the women are the top of the line, most intellectual, fearless leaders. And that's okay because women can be like that, don't get me wrong. But when you're purposely trying to knock down another gender because you're trying to push forward yours, that's where it's wrong. It's wrong for men to do that to women, and it's wrong for women to do that to men. And that's where people have a problem, okay? In every Star Wars media nowadays, there's always a female lead, too. It's in the games, it's in the movies, it's in everything. And again, you make the men look stupid. You make the men look incompetent. So it's not that women are there. Men have no problem with women. Most men. It's just stop trying to make us look stupid. Please. Don't insult me. Alright, production talent and character issues, we're not going to go over that. We're just going to go down to basically the conclusion. What's next for Star Wars? Oh god, the stupid virus crap. Let's go back. What's next for Star Wars? The risk posed by failing to satisfy core Star Wars fans extends far beyond the company's film business. Disney Star Wars attractions are set to open at its Florida and California theme parks next year, and the company is no doubt counting on these parks' expansions to be significant draws. Rather than aiming to subvert series tropes and fan expectations, the company should probably keep it simple going forward. Subversive is the kind of descriptor people might want to see attached to a Brooklyn art installation. It's probably not the best characteristic for major installments in the mega franchise that's at the heart of the biggest new additions to your theme parks, and one of the biggest assets of your consumer products division and upcoming streaming services. We're just gonna skip this. I should have skipped this. We're just gonna go here. This is the important part, guys. Walt Disney is not on our top buy list. Buy these 10 stocks are investing. That's garbage. But they're saying they don't even recommend Disney as a buy. They don't recommend to invest your money in Star Wars. I keep saying Star Wars. I mean, they don't recommend you invest your money into Disney because of Star Wars. Wow. That's not good, and that shows you that Kathleen Kennedy is hurting Disney more, not just Star Wars, but she's also hurting Disney financially. Not just hurting Star Wars financially, but Disney financially. Okay? We need to do something about this, Disney. Enough is enough. Please. This is not good for you guys, and it's not good for Star Wars, and it's not good for the fans. Thank you for watching, guys. Take care. Enjoy.